Hello YouTube, it is me, Raina, and I am back. So I'm here to give my thoughts and review on the recent Doctor Who episode called Dot and Bubble. Now, if you have not seen this episode, there will be some big spoilers here, so please go and watch it and then come back. So my overall thoughts on this episode, just to get it out of the way, I genuinely liked it. This is not the one that I was looking forward to because it was lauded as kind of the Black Mirror episode. And I thought it was just going to be in the aesthetic, them going to the future, technology, and it was going to be kind of a run-of-the-mill episode before we get to, like, the end of the season, basically. I did not see the twist coming. Now, I did spoil myself because I got work and I got spoiled on Twitter, but I was like, let me see how this episode leads up to that and see if it all comes together. And in my personal opinion, it does. Now, it will be interesting to see, I'm Black. So it'll be interesting to see, certain people's conversations when it comes to this episode, let's just say. So when I say that it really took the Black Mirror aesthetic, and not just that, but basically how an episode of Black Mirror is basically set up. Usually you either following a character or maybe a couple of characters. You're going on this journey with them and they're messing with technology and they use it the wrong way and it basically harms them in the end. Or you're following a character and they're suffering through something, and then at the end you find out they have done something really despicable, and your protagonist is basically the villain of the story. That's what happened here, and I did not even think of that. I did not think of like, oh, well, what if there's a big twist at the end, obviously, but I thought it was only going to be for aesthetic's sake and not for basically story structure. And I think that's what has been done, I think, to me, in my opinion, really greatly here. Because this is another Doctor Who light episode because Ncuti was still filming Sex Education. And honestly, I think they used it in a great way. It fit in with the aesthetic, with the whole dot and bubble thing, the screens, with the characters. And the main character is despicable, doesn't want to listen, and there's a reason for that. And there's moments throughout the episode where at the end, basically, when the main character and the other characters from the whole dot and bubble world does not want the Doctor's help because he's Black, it's threaded throughout the episode. It's not put in your face, but those microaggressions are so thread in there. Like, you really have to rewatch it to understand that decision at the end. And how self-centered and uppity and rich these people are. And it's kind of a commentary on that. And Black Mirror has done that multiple times throughout the seasons when it comes to commentary on a lot of things. And it loves to make you follow a character who you think is good at first, but at the end, it's like a hard turn of that they've done something really bad and you're like, oh no, I'm stuck in a conundrum. And it's like, oh my goodness. And this one, it left us another conundrum. And I gotta say, Ncuti's scene at the end of this episode, I felt every single part of that. Almost every Black person knows that feeling in one way or another. And not, saving somebody, but experiencing something like that, like racism, and in any way. And it's, I can't describe it, but just the way Ncuti expressed that, only someone like him can express it like that. And how he just let it all out, the layers to that is just amazing. And I like that they had Ruby kind of to the side and kind of just, kind of not going her own corner, but kind of being stable kind of there to support the Doctor, because it's something that he is experiencing. And honestly, for the first time, because remember, this is the first time the Doctor has been a Black male character going through time and traveling and doing all this and experiencing that. So, I think that really hard and brutal turn at the end fits in, with this world, because, everyone in Dot and Bubble is white and rich, and they have a certain features and everything, so it makes sense. And the microaggressions throughout the episode with the Doctor. It all makes sense. And the slugs and the world building, honestly, in my opinion, doesn't matter. What matters is the message and what they were trying to tell you through that. And, you know, the fact the Doctor wants to save them and is like, you know what? I don't care. Just come to TARDIS. I will save you. You will die out there. And they still don't want his help. And it's like, wow. And that's why he had that really, really big reaction. And I think this was a great way to really illustrate that in this episode, to where you think it'll be a fun romp. It's just kind of a here episode to really make it kind of stand out in this season. And I really enjoyed this episode. And I wasn't really looking forward to this one. I was actually looking forward to, Boom and 73 Yards and basically, the next episode called Rogue. But this one, for them to make this one really matter and to really, really kind of utilize the plot of a Black Mirror episode and make it fit for Doctor Who. I think this is what Doctor Who does best when it messes with genre, is that they kind of mesh it in with Doctor Who, and when it goes right, it goes really right. And to me, this is the episode, in my opinion, that it goes right. I could see some discourse about this, honestly, and like I said, when it comes to certain spaces in fandom, and talk about this episode, especially when it comes to us Black people. So I'm interested into hearing us, more people in fandom who are like me, who are Black, talk about this episode and, really digging into the themes and what we liked and what certain people dislike. And I'm open to really listen to that this week. So what are your thoughts on this episode? Leave your comments down below, and bye, YouTube.